Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator. And if you're like me, you're probably having a hard time trying to find military surplus at a great deal. Well, if you've been living under a rock for the last 5 years, you're probably unaware that military surplus collectibles have tremendously gone up in value. So, specifically in this video, we're going to talk about gun shops, pawn shops, antique stores, maybe places that you would probably try to find really good deals at. It's pretty much said that the best deals right now come from small town shops or maybe some local shops, private sales. There's sometimes gun shows. But in this video, we're going to go over some of the methods that I use to find some really good deals at some of the local shops or maybe some of the small town shops, trying to find those hidden gems. All right, so when you're trying to find those hidden gem locations and you live in a big town, you probably already looked around your area. You probably have talked to people, and some of these local shops use a lot of marketing tactics, whether it be billboards, social media, big signs, flashy signs, what have you. You probably already went there. Trying to find those small shops, trying to find the rarities, maybe some backwoods hunter always used a few different military surplus rifles, and now that he's gotten older, he's kind of transitioned to something more modern, so maybe he got rid of some of his military surplus collectibles, which he didn't really think were that collectible because he probably bought them back in the 1970s for like 50 bucks. So those are what we're trying to find. How do you find those? All right, so one of the first things I do is, let's say I want to go outside of my radius of where I live. So I open up Google Maps. I look at the small towns within reach, within reasonable distance of travel that I would want to go. Next, I pretty much search in the search bar, gun shop. I also use Apple Maps to search as well because some of the results can be different. Now, this may or may not bring up some results. So if it does, just take a note. Hey, there's this gun shop over in this small town over here. So keep that in mind, make a note so that, hey, if you ever, the day you feel like traveling over there, you go travel there. But wait, we're not done in that small town yet. No. Because I also search for the term pawn shop. That's right, some of these pawn shops don't show up as gun shops, but some of these pawn shops could have some really good deals. So search for pawn shops as well. Now, also take a note of what you find and then move on to where you could probably find some other kind of military collectibles. You're probably not going to find any weapons, but you maybe find a bayonet, you might find some canteens, maybe some equipment, maybe some other things. So what you want to do is you want to type in the search bar, antique store. That's right, some of the antique stores can have some really cool hidden gems. Don't underestimate antique stores. And of course, when you talk about military collectibles, can't go wrong searching in the same town for military surplus stores. Yes, you can find some deals there as well. All right, so you made a list of, some of these small shops, antique stores, what have you. And, so now that's kind of what I do, especially if I am already going to go travel somewhere for recreation or going with the family somewhere. It's always, I'm always on the search, always on the hunt, looking for, some places that might have a pretty good deal. So how do you know if it's a really good deal? Well, see my video in the description to find out how you can get good deals, how you know what a good deal is, pretty much what's the value of those military collectibles, right? So moving on. Something else that I have just started doing is kind of going on Arms List, going on Gunbroker. I'm looking for those small town shops that are actively selling collectibles on those websites. So I'll take a note. If I just search in the search bar, let's say on Arms List, and I search for Mosin, and I see shop that shows up that's selling this Mosin for a decent price. I say, okay, let me click on his website and see if he's got anything else that he's trying to get rid of at a pretty fair value or even cheaper. And you know, for the most part, you'll just find fair value or overpriced stuff on some of these websites. But every so often, you might find something at a pretty decent deal or fair value, and you're like, okay, this local shop in the middle of nowhere in North Dakota will ship anywhere in the States, and they sell things at a reasonable price. So just keep that in mind, make a note of that, and check their website every so often. So let's say you're looking for a Finnish Mosin, and one day they get in a Finnish Mosin and it's a pretty fair value and it's an M27 and you want to add it to your collection. Hey, there you go. You know, you just sourced a good place to find fair value deals, or maybe sometimes even cheaper deals. Well guys, that's some of the methods that I use. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Really quick video. Let me know what you think in the comments. What are some ways that you guys are finding deals these days? And don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Make it a great day.